Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to my channel. I'm RVD and we are here for the next video of my playlist, a course on C programming, where C programming is simplified. The topic for the current video is preprocessor directives. If you remember in the previous video when we had used const keyword, we had discussed that there are two methods of creating symbolic constant or user defined constant. The first method we had seen was const keyword. Now the second method is going to be a part of preprocessor directives. Now what is that and how we can use it? Let us start with the video. So in preprocessor directives, we have some kind of special statements. So let us first try to understand what is preprocessor directives. See, as the name suggests, preprocessor, that means they are not like the normal statements. Rather, they are going to be a special statement. Now, what is special statement? What is special about that? So first of all, they start with hash symbol. Start with hash symbol. So if you generally see when we are going to look at the program, or we've already seen that at the top we write some statements using hash symbol. Now because they are being treated specially, even their execution sequence is different. So they are not executed along with the program, rather they are processed before the execution of program. So I would say processed before program execution. That means just before the actual program starts its execution, the preprocessor directives are already being processed or their effect is already being added. Okay, so obviously because they are not normal statement, you don't see them getting terminated by a semicolon either. So I'm not going to write that, but that's a very simple point to understand, that we generally will not have semicolon after the preprocessor directives. Now, what are these preprocessor directives we have? So, if at all you want to go for types of preprocessor directives, broadly we can have two types. The first one is called as file inclusion, and the second one is called as macro or defining constants. This is what I was talking about. So, let us look at the first one, file inclusion. As the name suggests, these are the directives or preprocessor directives which will be used for including a header file in our program. Now all of us know that C is very rich in library functions. So all such library functions are being stored, or rather they are the group of library functions are being collected in a particular header file. So if at all I want to use a particular library function, I have to include the corresponding header file in my program. And that the job of including that header file is being done by file inclusion directive. Okay, so file inclusion directive is nothing but hash include. Okay, so generally you see this statement, you're so habituated to write less than greater than sign after that. So this is a statement which you've already seen. We have already worked with stdio.h. We know that they are like standard input output functions which are being present in that. std lib, which we will be looking at further. Then mat.h we had seen. I'd even introduced conio.h. So all such files, if I want to include in my program, I'll be making use of file inclusion. So a simple example is hash include. I don't even have to write that, but just for a completion of this, I'm making a note of that. Likewise, you can have many other, and as you are going to go ahead, you will even add many header files to your set of library. Okay, so that is file inclusion, very simple, and we've already started using it. So we will focus more on the second one, that is macro, and that is being done by a directive called hash define. Okay, so hash define, how it works and all these things, we're going to see that in detail. But just to summarize this is for including the header file into a program, whereas macro, that is hash define directive, is for creating symbolic constant. Okay, so let us have more on macros in C. Fine. So let us look at the syntax first. It is somewhat like this. So you will be having a definition like, we have to use a directive called hash define. So hash define would obviously be there. So after hash define, what you will have here is macro name. Okay, you know what that lesser greater than sign means, that it will be replaced by the actual macro name, space, and you can have macro body. Okay, and again, let me be very clear, no semicolon. Fine. So let us take an example. So to make it more clear, if you remember, we had already created pi using a variable, and then to make it constant, we had added that const keyword. If you have not seen, then you see my previous video where I had just taken a simple program of finding circumference and area of a circle, but there I had introduced a concept of const keyword. So there the problem or the limitation is we actually create a float variable spending 4 bytes of memory, and what we put that in that variable is 3.14 because value of pi is 3.14, and then we make it const or make it a constant. So isn't it unnecessarily we are spending 4 bytes of memory to store always the same value throughout the program? So that was the basic problem. Okay, here this would be done in simply this particular statement. So hash define will have macro name, which is pi. I already told you, just because it's like a constant, so the convention is to make it capital. It's not a rule as such. So hash define pi space and the body. So what I'll be using throughout my program is my macro name, and what that will be replaced by automatically macro body, and that too before the program actually starts executing, because hash define is a preprocessor directive. Okay, so you can clearly see, and let me take an example of how do we use it. Suppose I want to find the area of a circle, so it is pi r square, pi into, let's say, r into r for radius. Now this pi will automatically be replaced by 3.14 wherever you use this pi or how many times you use it in the program. So we obviously get that benefit also. If at all you want to make it 3.142, you only have to make it at one place. So everywhere it will be automatically changed. Now likewise we can get many examples. Like example is like hash define. I want to use a value, let's say size of a particular entity, let's say max. I can define it as hash define at the beginning only, but in the preprocessor directives area along with hash include. So throughout I'll not be using the hard coded value 10 for the size of any particular system. I'll be using max. The idea is if any time you require to change the size of your system, it is only one place at which you require to change. Okay, so that is the basic concept of macro. We can even have some kind of additional features which can be understood with the help of examples. So let us see what is the importance of keeping macro body in bracket. Okay, so let's say an example, hash define. Again, a very what you can say typical or irrelevant example as such, but just to understand the problem. So hash define, let's say 5, and I have actually kept the body as 3 plus 2. Now if you look at this, we shouldn't find any problem, like, because 5 FIVE will be replaced by 3 plus 2, and the value of that has to be 3 plus 2 is 5. But now it widely depends on how do you use it. For example, I want, let's say, answer is equal to, okay, 10 into 5 into, let's say, 4. So now the expected answer is 10 5s are 50 into 4 is 200. But see, when 5 will be replaced by the body, how the things would change. When it will be replaced by 3 plus 2, what happens? 10 into 3, 30, 2 into 4, 8. So 38 would be the answer. The simple option is to keep this in bracket. So whenever it will be replaced, it will be replaced with a bracket. Okay, don't look at my example FIVE replaced by 3 plus 2, but try to understand the concept. So it is always good to keep the macro body in bracket. So whenever it will be replaced in a particular statement, it will be independent of the surrounding things. I can even have macro with arguments. Macro with arguments. So what it means, let us have a check. So I can create a macro something like this: hash define, let's say sqr in bracket x, and that is being replaced by x into x. So that's the body. Okay, so sqr in bracket x will be replaced by x into x. Now this x acts as an argument. Understood? So how do we use it? Suppose again I want the area of a circle. Pi, or maybe just now let me write 3.14 to avoid confusion. And then instead of r square, I can write sqr in bracket r. See, I'm using the macro with argument. So sqr is the macro call which matches, and the argument passed for x is r. So now the body, instead of x into x, it will be replaced as r into r. And the job is done. Again, I have taken a very simple example. I hope you've understood that you can use creativity to design such macro with arguments and can use it very wisely. Fine, so that's the second method which we were talking about to create the constants. Okay, so I hope all of you have understood the concept of preprocessor directives really well. Okay, two types: file inclusion and macro. Macro is for creation of the constants. So as far as the constant creation is concerned, two methods. One is using const keyword, already done previously, and the one which we have done in this video is using hash define. Okay, so that's it for this current video. Thanks a lot and happy learning.